But I've just kept it quiet because I've always had something to say, and it's like, I don't know, I'm tired of opening my mouth, so there's the tea.
Demi Lovato debuts a giant new tattoo after completing a stint in rehab. With a source telling ET they wanted to get back on track and start the new year off on the right foot.
In addition to the new body art, Demi entered 2022 with a brand new hairstyle, showing off their freshly shaved head on Christmas Day.
Demi is an honest songwriter. A lot of people are nervous about telling everything. Demi thrives on using her music in a cathartic way.
All right, how do I fix this? How do I get back to doing what I love, which is making music?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. So the past couple of years have been kind of crazy for Demi Lovato. In 2018, they suffered a near-fatal OD, and then they just disappeared for a while. Their comeback was highly anticipated in 2020, and just as everything was going well for them after performing at the 2020 Grammys, giving an incredible performance at the Super Bowl, and releasing their comeback single, I Love Me, the pandemic took over the world and everyone went into lockdown. There, Demi kind of lost their mind as they moved in with a stranger whom they had just met like a week beforehand and then got engaged to them. Max Erich, whatever his name is. That's when Demi's entire life went downhill. Check the description box for my post that exposed all the craziness there. After that whole situation, Demi released their highly anticipated album, Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over, and it was paired with their controversial documentary, Demi Dancing with the Devil. However, everything that Demi did underperformed and didn't really perform to the expectations that you would expect from a major pop star after coming back from life-changing trauma. Everyone was tuned in at first when I Love Me was released, but then it just went downhill from there. The issue with this, which I've talked about a lot on my channel, is that Demi's image became a disaster and we couldn't blame anyone else except Demi themselves because they wouldn't keep their mouths shut. They always had something to say and it was usually annoying. It was a combination of things really. It was the public outbursts over the Froyo situation, it was not capitalizing on the failed engagement, it was hanging out with loser and problematic stars such as Tana Mojo, it was promoting some weird alien show, it was promoting sex toys, it was doing everything but making music or focusing on their music career. So obviously, when a musician isn't giving their all to their new album that had dropped for the first time in 4 years, and on top of that is instead fighting with a Froyo shop, the general public isn't only going to lose interest, but they're going to become highly annoyed with you. And that's kind of where we are with Demi Lovato right now. They've become a target to make fun of, to clown, and to talk down upon because they are clearly struggling and don't know what to do with their life. It wasn't just the public outburst, but it was the whole California sober thing, and when they changed their pronouns to they, them, everyone thought they were doing it for attention. Then it was promoting a vibrator, and quickly what used to be Demi's respected career seemed like an influencer taking a check to promote anything and say whatever. So this brings us to the present moment where Demi is teasing a new era. An era that seems to be going back to their roots when they first debuted in the music industry in 2008. It's an era that Lovatics refer to as Rock Vado. When Demi's first debut album, Don't Forget, dropped in 2008, it made a huge impression on everyone. Demi was an overnight hit, rising to the likes of worldwide sensation Miley Cyrus and quickly overcoming any sort of competition at that time. Their rock sound and fresh vibe was the moment. It defined a teen angst generation that was growing up on Disney Channel. Now this was highly reflected in the numbers, and keep in mind that hitting the top 5 back in the day was significantly harder than hitting number 1 in today's music climate. There was no such thing as streams, social media, Spotify, SoundCloud. It was solely relying on pure digital or physical sales, and if you were lucky enough to get played on the radio. That is if you had a good team and a good radio deal, and Demi didn't really have that. But like I said, she was an overnight sensation. Don't Forget was a huge hit as it peaked at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 chart. Demi's sophomore album, Here We Go Again, also in the pop rock genre, was an even bigger hit as it peaked at number 1 when it was released in July 2009. At the time, Demi was only 16, which made her one of the youngest stars to achieve that milestone. Demi was outdoing all of her competitors at the time. The only teen pop star who she couldn't beat was Miley Cyrus, and that's saying a lot considering Miley was everywhere with her Hannah Montana franchise that was worth $1 billion. But even with the likes of Ashley Tisdale, Vanessa Hudgens, and Selena Gomez, they weren't hitting those numbers or records. Both Ashley and Vanessa were coming off a huge franchise from High School Musical, and yet their debut and sophomore albums charted lower than Demi's. Ashley's debut album peaked at number 5, and her sophomore album peaked at number 12. Vanessa wasn't as successful as her albums peaked at number 23 and number 24. Selena Gomez's debut album peaked at number 9 and was followed up with her sophomore album at number 4. So, once upon a time, Demi was the it girl. So what happened? How did we go from smash-breaking records at 16 to being Hollywood's butt of the joke at 29? It usually had to do with the fact that Demi couldn't keep their mouth shut. Sure, it was nice to finally have a celebrity in Hollywood who wasn't this manufactured pop star who only communicated through their publicists, but then it became tiring as it was a constant reoccurrence. I'd also like to note that Demi's management team has been kinda crappy since the start with the lack of promotion, but some of it also falls on Demi and how they portrayed their image to the general public. Anyways, Demi usually ended up beating all the odds and all the hate as they accumulated 8 top 20 US hits, and with Sorry's Not Sorry and Ode to the Haters peaking at number 6 in 2017, and it even went on to be certified 5 times platinum. But as time went on and the music industry got overly saturated with rising stars going viral on TikTok, Demi started underperforming more and more. The lead single, Dancing with the Devil, peaked at number 56 on Billboard, which is a record-breaking low for Demi, considering the lowest a lead single has performed for them in the past decade was Cool for the Summer, which wasn't even underperforming because it did peak at number 11 and went on to be certified 2 times platinum. Met Him Last Night was supposed to be the second single, but that never panned through and it ended up peaking at number 61. So, with growing criticism and annoyance from the general public, Demi's era underperformed, and slowly engagement stopped increasing as well. Demi, whom used to get millions and millions of likes per Instagram photo, was lucky if they scraped past the 700k mark. As fellow pop stars such as Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande continued to increase their engagement on social media, Demi's declined despite hitting major peaks before. Now, Demi has deleted all of their previous Instagram photos and is rebranding back to their roots as a rock star or pop rock star, whatever you want to claim. I don't think anyone is expecting them to go full heavy metal. But they started off the new year debuting their new look, which consisted of a shaved buzz cut. And to be fair, Demi warned fans in 2020 that this was coming. Demi also got a huge tattoo of a spider on their scalp. They even captioned a video on Instagram saying, "I'm glad I came here with your pounds of flesh." They posted another photo with their team, including manager Scooter Braun, as everyone was dressed in black and Demi held up her middle fingers and said, "A funeral for my pop music." They posted another photo captioning it, "I'm alive by the skin of my teeth." And finally, Demi paid homage to 15-year-old Demi performing and said, 15 and it wasn't a phase. And let me tell you something. I am here for it. This is the first time I genuinely feel this excited for Demi, and it's a feeling I haven't had for a while. Everyone has always wanted Demi to return back to the cool old pop chic that they used to be because it's what made people fall in love with them in the first place. It's what differentiated them from the likes of Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez. No other teen was doing that, and as you can see in today's climate, Olivia being a young angry rock teen had everyone in a chokehold. Olivia blew up because no other teen was doing that at the time. The industry is usually dominated by pop stars with dance songs. I have high hopes for Demi's era, but I don't know if it's going to be a new peak for them yet. There is still a lot of damage control to be done in regards to their image, and I don't know if Demi is mentally ready for a new era considering they were just in rehab for a couple of weeks. I would vote no to a new documentary because, like I said, Demi's credibility right now is in the trash. They should definitely go on with this rock era and try to be as authentic as possible, as opposed to trying to prove something to people or to pick a fight for things to end up accommodating you. I believe that if Demi truly focuses on their art and their craft, the general public will fall back in love with them and they will be forgiven for their scandals. After all, no one loves a good angry redemption story more than Hollywood. This was perfected by Taylor Swift's Reputation era in Look What You Made Me Do, and this was seen as recent as Olivia Rodrigo's debut album Sour and her angry hit Good For You. Hollywood loves angry, strong women taking back their power, and honestly, maybe it's time for Demi to finally go back to their roots and remind people of the Demi that debuted and became an overnight sensation. So that's all I have for you today. Please let me know what you think about this type of video where I analyze Demi's career, peak, stats, and gave my own prediction on what's to come. Do you guys like these type of videos? Let me know. I love discussing numbers, career stats, marketing, and so on. Comment down below what your thoughts are on Demi's rock era. Do you think that Demi can make a successful comeback? And do you think that the general public will give her the time of day, or will they be too annoyed with her and her past antics? Let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and as always, I'll see you next time.